The Catalan Dragons have turned their season round and are marching up the Super League table. They've gone from 12th to 7th on the back of a hot streak with just one defeat in their last 9 games in Super League and are looking for an 8th consecutive home win in League and Cup games. But their opponents at the Stade Gilbert Brutus are hoping to emulate that run of form. And Hull FC go into this game in southwest France in confident mood, having completed back-to-back 50-point away wins to give them hope of making the playoff places. Let's get some team news first, and the Catalan Dragons fresh from that nilling of St Helens. 42-0 they beat the Saints, and not surprisingly unchanged in the back division and looking for more points today. But it's in the forwards the changes come for the Catalan Dragons, with Eloy Pellissier out, suspended for 1 game. It means Ian Henderson, in his 2nd game back since recovering from a broken arm, starts. And the Dragons' new loan signing Sam Williams is on the bench. Williams, halfback, has swapped the Dragons of St George Illawarra for the Catalan variety. And the Dragons have deregistered Scott Giroud to accommodate 23-year-old Williams. There's no Olivier Elmer for the Dragons. His place at prop goes to Mikel Simon. So Gregory Muniz comes onto the bench for his 1st game since Easter Monday to make his 250th career appearance. Coach is Laurent Fresineau. Now then, for Hull, well, Tom Lynham returns for his 1st appearance since early March when he broke his lower leg ankle, and he comes in place of Callum Lancaster, who's been in sparkling form with 5 tries in his last 2 games. So Lynham is the big news in the Hull FC back division. Welcome back for Tom, and a difficult game to come back in for him. And they too have problems at hooker to the Black and Whites because, as you will see from this team sheet, there is no Danny Houghton at hooker for the Black and Whites. Houghton misses the game as he became a dad on Friday, so well done to him, but that means that Aaron Jeremiah starts at hooker, and that is going to be a big ask for Jeremiah. And on the bench, there is no Liam Watts. He's made the news in the build-up to this game, having mislaid his passport, and of course there was no chance of getting a replacement quickly given the backlog at the passport office. So Josh Bowden comes into the starting lineup in place of Watts, who apparently could always take a holiday at home. That's the alternative if you can't get hold of your passport. And Dean Hadley comes on to the bench for Hull. And Lee Radford is the coach. Well, Hull FC have done well against the Catalan Dragons in recent times, John. They beat them at the start of this season in a high-scoring game, but more significantly, they beat them in the heat of France in the Cup in July. They knocked them out in the playoffs as well. So that's some confidence boost for Hull, isn't it, going into this one?
Yeah, certainly. I would say first and foremost, Hull are going to struggle, I think, around the ruck today. Losing Danny Houghton, and by the way, it's not well done, Danny Houghton. His part to play and all that is very. It's Mrs. Houghton. You want to be saying well done to.
Real man,
yeah, they're going to be. Aaron Jeremiah just in your picture there. He's a lot of weight on his shoulders. His counterpart Henderson, as you can see, wearing the 9 jersey. He's in his 2nd or 3rd game back from a broken arm. And for me, Jeremiah, because he won't do the 80 minutes, you start looking around that Hull FC team as to who's going to fill in and spell for him. It's not a straightforward proposition. You've got Richard Horn, perhaps, to move from the halves, or Joe Westerman to move in from loose forward. Either way, a lot of jiggling around. And this Catalan team that take the field now, they are very, very confident at home, Bill.
A quick shot of Adel Falous there, who's working for French television now. And there is Eloy Pellissier, all suited and booted, sitting this one out as the Dragons look to extend this winning sequence. It's very hot in Perpignan, the temperature in the high 20s, but Hull have done all right in these sort of temperatures. It was exactly the same last July for that Cup quarter-final when they won 24-13. That'll give them confidence. It's a big game for these two sides, both looking to secure playoff places. So let's join our commentary team. Stuart Cummins, Barry McDermott, Terry O'Connor, and first up, Rod Studd.
Thanks, Bill. Phil Bentham is the man in charge. The rampant Catalan Dragons looking for another home win. They've won the last 7 straight. You have to go back to the bleak midwinter in February when the Leeds Rhinos went to the Stade Gilbert Brutus and did a job on the Dragons. Since then, they've swept everything in their path away. Last weekend, the league leaders St Helens were whipped 42-0.
And hold, goal. Straight up, Jason.
We're told a late change on the bench for the Catalan Dragons. Louis Anderson dropping out, and Julien Busquet is on the bench for the Dragons. So a late team change for the men from the southwest of France. Hull FC, 2 big wins on the trot at Widnes and the London Broncos, but this, you would feel, a much tougher assignment. Barry.
Go for.
Absolutely. Hull come into this game fresh off the back of 2 victories. London and Widnes lying in their wake, but they, I'm sure, will have understood that it's a very different proposition going to Catalan, playing in the heat. And I think John Wells is right on the money. They're going to have to control the play of the ball. They're going to have to control the size and power of the Dragons.
Well, we've mentioned Danny Houghton missing out Hull's Player of the Year last season, and the top tackler currently in Super League. He's made 669 tackles. He's not there to do a job for Hull today, and the offloading game is going to sap the energy of their opponents. This is what their tactic was last weekend against St Helens, who eventually ran out of fuel late in the piece, and the Dragons took them to the cleaners late on.
Well, they were absolutely rampant last week against St Helens, and probably the best performance of the year. And in that game as well has been very direct and aggressive. Rod, they were also very disciplined, only giving 3 penalties away. So they'll be looking for more of the same in these conditions. They are going to be sapping.
See how they shift the ball. Here's Jeff Lima, no Olivier Ellimer to partner him in the front row today. And Ian Henderson making a start at hooker. Made his return to the team last weekend. Eloi Pellissier suspended. Leon Price puts him a huge kick, and it's collected by Jamie Shaw, who does well here. Had a hat-trick to his name last weekend. Jamie Shaw to move to 12 tries in the Super League season.
Well, he was brilliant, Jamie Shaw, last week, and you got 2 very good attacking full-backs, and Jamie Shaw made 233 metres last week when he played against Widnes. So what you can't do, you can't present opportunities with a broken line. You've got to make sure that you chase hard. You don't just stand back and admire that kick.
Yeah, Shaw, 12 tries, 2 in the cup, so 14 in all competitions, and his opposite number, Morgan Escaré, has 15 in all competitions. 2 of the most exciting young fullbacks in the Super League. Richard Horn ships it on, it's knocked on. They cannot afford to do that. That is sporting suicide. It's Kirk Yeaman who spilled the ball. But if you keep turning the ball over inside your own half, in these kind of conditions, you do not want to be working overtime defensively.
Well, there shouldn't have been any problem with the pass from Richard Horn. In the first couple of minutes of this game, the pass was poor. It was too difficult for Kirk Yeaman to catch, and all of a sudden now Hull FC are under pressure in their own half.
29 degrees in the south of France, a cloudless sky, the sun beating down. Phil Bentham just joking with the players that he's had to put factor 50 on his shiny pate for this afternoon's assignment. It is warm work for the referee as well as the players. Here come the Dragons. Daryl Millard has his hands on the ball, looking to shift it on. 3 Hull FC players converge on him, including Ben Crooks. Henderson is in a dummy half for the Dragons.
2, release!
Seb Tyre scored a try at the back end of the game against Hull in February, which would have drawn the game had Bosk added the conversion. He missed, and Hull FC hung on to win 36-34, so looking for a league double over the Dragons this afternoon in very different conditions. It was a freezing night in Hull back in February. That is Elliot Whitehead who takes the ball forward. I think we'll see a lot of Ian Henderson directing the traffic today for the Dragons, looking to get a good 80 minutes under his belt. Bosk prods one forward towards Daryl Millard, and it's well claimed. And it'll be well claimed by Tom Lynham. First action for the Hull FC winger, making his first appearance since way back in March, having recovered from a broken ankle.
Well, they've got to be expecting these sorts of kicks, because the first couple of tries that Catalan scored last week, it was from kicks like that into the corner. First of all to the left, then to the right. Very good kicking game, Thomas Bosk.
Bosk has really started to play well in the last few weeks. Made a stuttering start to the season, but in the last few weeks he's created 9 tries, credited with 9 assists in the last 5 weeks, so clearly getting on the top of his game.
He is playing on the good work that the forwards are doing. I think he's the reason why we're talking about Thomas Bosk. The forwards, I think, Rod, have been absolutely exceptional.
Rankin is in a dummy half for Hull FC. In the blue kit, not the black and whites this afternoon. Same kit as they had on last weekend at Widnes when they took the Vikings apart in a 56-6 romp. Hat-tricks there for Shaw and Lancaster. Lancaster not playing today, the teenage winger. High kick. Millard comes. Millard spills the ball. Chance for Hull then. It'll be a knock-on. They'll get the head and feed, the scrum feed 10 metres out.
Well, Daryl Millard, normally safe as houses, has his elbows a little bit too wide, a little bit too far apart. He's in perfect position to catch that bomb, but unfortunately there's a hole in his bucket.
There's a lot of similarities between this game and last week. The first time that Daryl Millard goes to catch a bomb, he loses the ball, and all of a sudden when Catalan get into good field position, the kick to the corner.
Hang on, Jeff. Yep, just throw it
So
back.
the leadership from Leon Price and Thomas Bosch, I'm sure is going to play a big part in this game.
Well, Hull with a real opportunity now. 6 minutes into this game and Phil Bentham's already calling for water. This is going to be a very, very hot afternoon, and the referee's going to have to show a lot of experience and common sense here to get the water on Stuart, isn't he, when they need it out there?
Well, he is, but there's an injury in back play, and that's why he's allowed the water on while they treat the injury. It would be 20 minutes at least before they had a water break, if that's what they're going to have.
But do you know what? I don't mind that, Stuart. And sometimes the fans and the spectators, they get frustrated with the yellow jerseys, the orange T-shirts off and on.
Okay, boys,
but in conditions like this, it's important that players are fully hydrated.
Well, we're going to see the yellow jersey over in the UK, Barry, when the Tour de France comes to Yorkshire. I'm sure you'll be there, getting on your bike to watch that one later in the summer.
People's Republic of Yorkshire watching it, you're right.
Should be terrific.
On his tricycle.
Hold, go, one.
Jamie Shaw. And now Richard Horn just shipping it from left to right as Hull looking to set the platform. Josh Bowden, he's the beneficiary for Liam Watts' lost passport, wherever it may be, amongst the Watts resident in his sock drawer or wherever their passport is. And here's a chance, stretching out and knocking on. Well, it was very, very close to the first try. Chris Chewson was stretching out, desperately trying to get his arm over the try line, was looking for his first try for Hull FC, the former Wigan man.
It's a lovely line. I have my question mark about whether the pass was forward, but the line was lovely from Chewson. Unfortunately, it's the old favourite. His grip wasn't good enough, and Henderson just manages to dislodge it. I think you probably credit Ian Henderson with a try-saving interjection.
Well, Phil Bentham saying there that it was a forward pass anyway, so I think either way, which way, it doesn't make any difference. Either way, it's going to be a scrum down to the Dragons, 10 metres from their own try line, and the first Hull FC raid is repelled by Laurent Fresigne's side. With this superb home record, Leeds beat them back in February, but since then, well, they really have been red hot in the red hot conditions in the south of France. Last week, probably their best performance of the lot when the league leaders were demolished. That's Battieri carting it forward.
There was a number of players last week who had standout games. Michael Simon and also Jeff Leam. I thought Jeff Leam was very big and very aggressive, the way that he played and took on the St Helens forwards.
The dancing Leon Price squirmed out of a couple of challenges. Pomeroy looking to offload every opportunity. It's quite clear what the game plan is from the Catalan Dragons. They are going to stretch Hull and try and run them off their feet. And it may not be in the first half that they get the benefit from that. Maybe late on, like last week against Saints.
Well, it definitely works for them. Players and opponents are having to do extra tackles. Instead of 6 tackles, it's often 7, 8. And players are having to go up and back, and those extra meters that you're running, having thought that the tackle has been completed, that counts in the end. And we are talking about the size and the ferocity of Lima and Simon for the Catalan Dragons, but it's a big day for Josh Bowden as we just see a replay of that percentage kick from Henderson out from 9 on the short side. A big day for Josh Bowden.
Well, Hull start this match in 10th spot. Their arch rivals, Hull KR, went above them, virtue of their win at Bradford last night. We've already had one result today where Huddersfield Giants have moved up to 5th on the league ladder, having defeated the London Broncos 38-22, and Shaw busts through and gets ankle tapped, offloads wildly. Well, Hull will not thank him for that. Ever so well he did to get through the line in the first place, but then maybe just didn't have the patience and perhaps still the inexperience. Remember, he's only still 21 years of age, Jamie Shaw, and in his second full season.
Well, he does everything right. He gets out from dummy half, he beats the markers, he gets behind the block hole and just offloads that ball to nobody.
Price taunting them, really. Escaré, Pomeroy, Ben Pomeroy charging towards the line, and Shaw this time makes an important tackle. Well, it could have been a penalty. He was slow to get round onto an onside position. In the end, he did just that. Battieri is going to be wrapped up. Working overtime is Aaron Heremiah. The Dragons with a couple of tackles left in this sequence. Bosch.
Not dead.
Bosch looking to dance his way through. Escaré joining the line. Elliot Whitehead, a dozen tries to his name this season. He's the top scoring forward in the Super League. Only Liam Farrell with Wigan is in double figures apart from the former Bull Whitehead. They keep it moving. Leon Price, again, it's going to be this same tactic, kicking towards Hull's right flank, looking to test Tom Lynham, and he's come up with the right answers again.
Well, if you would have watched the game last week, Tom Lynham, he would have turned up to this game knowing he's going to be tested either off Thomas Bosch or Leon Price. Catalan giving away a penalty, just too urgent, trying to get off the line. Put an awful lot of pressure on Hull FC, who were trapped in the corner. Difficult place to bring the ball away, because you can only go one way. You've got to come open field, and that's where all the Catalan players were waiting for them.
Yeah, Tom Lynham has only played 4 games this season. He injured his ankle against Bradford Bulls in early March. This is first game back. And there's little doubt that he cannot be match fit. And this is going to be a very tough assignment in this heat against the Catalan Dragons to play the full 80, and Catalan wanting to test him out early on. So far, Lynham has done everything absolutely spot on under the high ball.
Well, that's where it's not so much your physical fitness, it's your mental concentration. He'll be tested in that yardage area of the pitch, as players and coaches like to term it. You need to be on red alert, whether he's able to do extra work and put in 20, 25 carries, as he would hope to do on a normal game. We'll wait and see.
Richard Horne threatened to offload, did in the end, and again it's Jamie Shaw, and Shaw put the foot down to the floor and managed to squirm out of 2 tackles, but eventually was knocked down by Lima. Play on, says Phil Bentham, as Hull looked at maybe a penalty, a little kick through, and it's well collected by Pomeroy, and this man is the quickest player on the pitch. He's going to go the length here unless Hull can get across via line, and Morgan Escaré is going to go into the lead in the top try-scoring stakes in Super League, and he's put Catalan in front here with a length of the field try, the lightning-quick French fullback, the flying fullback with his 15th Super League try of the season, and Catalan hit the front.
Well, that's the danger. That is the threat that Morgan Escaré possesses. An incredible talent. And in broken field, as soon as he gets hold of the ball from the offload from Pomeroy, it was a foot race between him and Jamie Shaw. And he just keeps his composure. He knows that he's got the pace. He goes around Tom Lynham, tries to get better field position. Ben Crooks just forces him to put the ball down. This is a brilliant start from Catalan.
I think Gareth Ellis was trying to give him a 10-yard start and a beating, which was never going to be on. But full credit to Tom Lynham there, Barry. I mean,
absolutely.
He hunted him down, didn't he? And he got close, Tom Lynham.
Yeah, and their attitude indicators as well. Of course, Gareth Ellis, we know him a fabulous player, but at 33 years of age, it's probably beyond him to catch one of the most elusive and agile and quickest players in the game at the minute. Escaré versus Shaw. That's a battle I'm really looking forward to. Not too many times will there be in complete competition as they were on that occasion, but I want to look forward to the various inputs that they're going to have for the teams today.
Yes.
I can't hear it, mate. I'll speak to you in a second.
Ellis against Escaré, reminiscent of McDermott versus Bolt.
Time off.
I doubt it, Rod. That would be
what we got, Thierry, please.
The easiest race for me, of course.
Well, Thomas Bosch.
Speak up, mate. I can't hear
Has
you.
not been razor sharp with the boot this season. We saw a game against Widnes on Sky Sports when he missed more than he kicked, and even last week missed 3 out of the 8
to go.
in the 42-0 success over St Helens. Such has been their dominance, so in their recent home matches, that Bolt's errant goal kicking has been irrelevant.
This earpiece is not very good, though.
They've scored over 30 points in all these wins, these 7 straight wins. Bosch nails that one without any problem at all, and it's 6-0 to the Catalan Dragons. They're having fun in the sun again in southwest France.
Well, if Richard Horne needed any reminding of the threat of a poor kick and a poor chase, then there it is. Quick of action, quick of thought, and between Pomeroy and Escaré, they've posted the first 6 points for the Catalan Dragons.
And when you consider, Barry, that this boy only made his debut last March with a try-scoring debut against the Bradford Bulls, Escaré scored 18 tries last year. He scored 15 this year. This is a very special talent that the Catalan have unearthed.
He is a talent, and all he needed was that opportunity, and he's never looked back since, has he?
Get square, mate.
And the part of Ben Pomeroy may go almost unmentioned and unnoticed in that, but it was a clever offload from Pomeroy. A lot of players would have just taken the tackle their safety first.
Well, you've got to know your strengths and weaknesses of the players who you're playing around, and Barry mentioned it last week in commentary that Morgan Escudé is doing an awful lot about looking at the lads who he's playing with and seeing who has got that offload, and obviously Ben Pomeroy gets a superb pass away there.
Whitehead, well, he just ran over two Hull FC defenders. Elliot Whitehead, who's in superb form himself here for the Catalan Dragons. They really are in a rich vein of form as a team, as an outfit.
Release, Aaron!
Well, we fancy them now to make the top 8. The problem they're going to have is that they're going to have to do a lot of travelling in the playoffs and a lot of road trips. That will make the road to Old Trafford a difficult one. Leon Price prods one through, an awkward bounce for Jamie Shaw, who comes away and runs into the unwelcoming arms of Zeb Tyre.
That's a good set of 6 from Catalan. They just seem to be marching Hull FC back down the field, and it's very difficult for the forwards to keep getting back behind the ball. In conditions like this, their job is to get back behind the ball, to bring it forward into an oncoming Catalan defensive line. It's difficult, Rod.
And we've said it many times, after points test, teams want to be squeaky clean, make sure they get to the kick, and we don't want to see what we saw in February. 15 tries in that 36 to 34 points victory to Hull. I'm sure that Catalan have said, when we score, you know, make sure we control the next period.
Well, we've now played 16 minutes here, 6-0 to Catalan Dragon, with the exception of the spilled bomb by Daryl Millard. And let's face it, they all drop them sometimes. This has been a picture-perfect performance from Catalan, because they've completed sets on their own terms, they've kicked well, they've forced Hull back, they've scored a try.
It looks like they're playing with an awful lot of energy, even on contact. When they're going into the tackle here, they're still pumping the legs forward, they're getting forward, they're poking the nose through, and that's going to be more difficult as the game gets on for Hull FC to control.
Yeah, reminding you, no Danny Houghton, their top tackler, so Heramar's going to have to do an added stint. He's been very effective in the last few weeks coming off the bench, Aaron Heramar, but having to start this match. Leon Price, well, he dummied there and he threatened to go through. Chris Tewson made the tackle. Messi play the ball. Off the foot says Phil Bentham, play on. Last tackle here for the Dragons. Thomas Bosk is the man pulling the strings, and it's a flying try, and it's Michael Oldfield who scored a hat-trick last weekend against St Helens, who scored for the Dragons here. Stuart.
Thierry, we're going to call an offside player. Is he within the 10 metres?
OK, we've got a player who's offside. They want to check to see whether he actually goes within the 10 metres. If he does, and he's in front of the kicker, this try will be chalked off. So we'll wait to see what the footage tells us.
It'll probably work both ways, though.
So is there anybody in front of the kicker? It's very close on the... is it Pomeroy? Well, he's certainly within that area. So is he in front of the kicker? You know, it's pretty close, and it's well, it's not easy to tell on that. You've got to say he's behind there. He's looking across at the kicker. You'd think that he would be wanting to stay
What's
behind.
the protocol here, Stuart? Do they go with what the touch judge says and he called him offside, or do they say, well, no, the balance of probability is onside from our picture?
The touch judge is actually calling him onside there. You can see that he's signalling. So it'll go down purely to the video referee's judgment of it.
Well, Oldfield is claiming what would be his 4th try in 2 matches and his 12th in the Super League season. And now Phil Bentham's asking, I think, Stuart, for a knock-on at the play the ball, or a scrutiny of that.
Well, I think he'll find that he can't actually look at that. It goes. You can only go from where the ball was played. So I thought we were going to get to the decision, but perhaps we're going to go back and have a look at that play the ball,
which they can't look at.
It will be irrelevant.
Well, Phil Bentham waits like the rest of us to see if Catalan have scored their 2nd try at the match. Morgan Escudé got the opener.
What's happening?
What's happening, says Phil Bentham. A very good question, that, Phil, actually.
Well, we have to wait for the French TV to send the pictures across to us. So we'll wait and see what they're doing.
Well, if we look at Michael Oldfield going up for that ball, I think there was only going to be one winner. I thought he was absolutely exceptional.
Here we go. Try! And Michael Oldfield has got another one for the Dragons. Hat-trick last week, as I said, 4 in 2 games, 12 in the Super League for the Australian. That's now 13 in 18 games in all competitions. He's been a good import, the former Manly and Roosters man.
Well, it comes down to the attacking shape that Catalan seem to have in this game. The wingers make sure that they hold the width, they stay on the touchline, they can come and attack onto that ball And Thomas Bosk, well, under no real pressure, he placed that kick exactly where he wanted it, and a good take from Oldfield.
And there's another interesting aspect to that. Leon Price had a couple of nice shots on the left side of the pitch that drags defenders over to where the danger is, which is where the ball is. And then you're right, Tez. Thomas Bosch had all the time in the world, and he's perhaps not as accurate as he'd like off the tee, but he's very accurate out of his hands.
Yeah, if you can keep ending your sets with a kick from 20 metres out and can plonk it right on the trial, and sooner or later one of your wingers is going to get above one of their wingers. That's the percentages, isn't it?
Even if you can just keep ending your sets with a 6, it means you're getting through it.
Bosk, tricky one this. Too tricky.
We'll have another look at the quality of the kick, end over end, so that ball doesn't really change trajectory. It doesn't change direction. It's always going at the same pace, so it means that Oldfield can judge his leap to perfection, knows where it's going to be and when he needs to be there.
Boys.
First class option, perfectly executed.
22 minutes to go. Okay.
Well, Oldfield and Escaré, two of the players for the Dragons who are in double digits in try terms for the Super League, the other being Elliot Whitehead. Price, the last member of the terrific try-scoring trio, gets on the score sheet this afternoon. Almost halfway through the first half then, 10-0 to the Dragons, looking for an 8th straight home win, looking to extend their unbeaten sequence to 5 matches and move on to 19 competition points. That would put them one behind 6th place Warrington Wolves, who play tomorrow against Salford. Penalty. Obstruction.
He's run behind his own man.
Time off. He's run behind him, blocking the defensive line. 22.
That will be a relief to Hull FC.
And disappointment for Lauren Fraser, who Thomas Bosk it was, takes the ball on the inside shoulder, I think it was of Jeff Lima.
It was.
And then runs behind him. Well, coaches will talk about when you scored a try, you must complete that next set of 6. And that's a real let-off.
Okay.
Well, Hull 10-0 down, looking to respond. As Bill was mentioning pre-match, they had a terrific win in the Challenge Cup a year ago in baking hot conditions in the south of France, on the way to reaching Wembley last season. But in the league, in the Super League, they've had some torrid towelings at the hands of the Dragons. Ramaya looking to steal a try. 2 tackles left in this sequence for Hull. Can they at least force another set, even if they can't score, and just take some fuel out of the tank of the Catalan Dragons? Ellis, Shaw, it's all static, it's all staccato, it's all very slow.
Move 5!
And they end the set on the 10-metre line.
Go.
See what their kicking game is like. What can Richard Horn produce? Had to just stretch for that pass and prod it forward. It's a high-hanging kick.
Knocked back!
Knocked back,
still
says the referee, and it's collected by Leon Price, so there was no knock-on from a Catalan hand, and Price is there to avert the danger for the Dragons.
Well, you talked about it being static and not much going on from Hull FC. You saw when Chris Tucson went to dummy half, he's waving his arms about saying, what's going on, who wants the ball, what are we going to be doing? So obviously they need a bit more direction when they get near Catalan's try line.
And that's where they're missing Danny Houghton, isn't it? Who gives them that direction from dummy half.
Yeah, you're right. An absolute excellent player. A player that's really tough, robust. He does all the dirty hard work, but he's also a very skillful player.
But a dominant call from Richard Horn is what's needed. A dominant call from Horn or Rankin will get rid of any possible confusion that's going on from the bloke that's passing the ball.
Here is another artist from dummy half, Ian Henderson, and it will be a penalty.
He has to drop the ball to protect himself. Legs above the horizontal.
It will be a penalty, legs above the horizontal. It was Henderson who took the ball up, and Josh Bowden was involved, and so coming in over the top was Mickey Pear.
Yeah, it's just that lift that takes him over the horizontal, and he's coming down head first.
Time off.
And as Phil Bentham said, he's let go of the ball to protect himself. So
Mickey Mickey, the younger brother of Lapini Pear, who's on the Dragons books but not playing today. Yes, Perpignan could have been the city of brotherly love, but
on the line, boys.
Lapini not in action.
Go.
No doubt enjoying the fact that his Dragons lead here, though. And power to add here as they come forward once more, because Hull conceding ground off the back of that penalty.
Go. 1.
Henderson, none the worse for wear. Carries on. Good to see Henderson back, former Bradford Bull. Missed 12 games this season with the broken wrist that he picked up in the defeat by the Leeds Rhinos back in February. And here is Henderson once more. Escaré throws a dummy, but he's knocked down by Josh Bowden, who clears the ruck just about before Phil Bentham can blow the whistle. All hands to the pump for Hull FC. 2 tackles left for the Dragons. Escaré is lurking, looking for another try. Zeb Tyre is in at dummy half this time. Spins it out to Leon Price. Price, that languid running style, to Bosk, to Pomeroy. Offloads to Bosk. Play on is the call. Bosk takes it back to the starting point, really, of this attack. And still the Dragons look to create something from this final tackle. What's Bosk got up his sleeve here? Or would it be Leon Price who directs the orchestra? It will. Price just grubbers one through. Tripping up was Elliot Whitehead. Well, I'll tell you what, they've got away with one there.
Time off.
I thought that was going to be a penalty, Rod. Elliot Whitehead going for the try line, chasing the kick really hard.
Well, Stuart, just fill us in on what Phil Bentham's saying there.
Well, I think it's to see whether there's a deliberate block in that, with a possibility of a penalty try, and that possibility of the penalty try gives him the opportunity to go for the video referee. So, is this a penalty? Is he blocked deliberately coming through? He's clearly onside as he goes through, and you'd have to say that he moves across into his path and blocks his path. Would he have scored? I don't think so.
At full speed, certainly it looked like a penalty, didn't it? But you would be stretching the bounds of credibility, wouldn't you, to say that he would have scored from there?
Absolutely. You know, he has to be certain that a try would have been scored. You know, there's at least one defender there, and I think there's 2 defenders in the picture, so that there can't be any certainty that a try will be scored there. So I'll be very surprised if this is a penalty try.
Yeah, I think I agree with that as well. And we'll talk about the difference in the kicking games and the way that the teams are ending sets. You see a genuine option from Thomas Bosch, who passes on some communication of what he wants to do. You feel certain that Leon Price has done the same thing on that right side, because there's 2 players in the chase to pick that ball up.
And both Hull defenders only had eyes for Elliot Whitehead that was coming through. So then that's what gives it away.
Well, let's see what video referee Thierry Alibert is going to adjudicate. Well, there's no try. But what
shoulder, boys, penalty.
Penalty is the decision. So, as suspected, a penalty to the Dragons. Question of whether they want to stretch the lead from 10 to 12. Bosch fancied a pot shot at goal.
Knock on.
Dragons said otherwise, or the coach, Laurent Fresneau, said otherwise, and now they've knocked on. So maybe Thomas Bosch was proved right after all.
He was screaming for the 2 points, wasn't he?
I think that was Josh Bowden who put that shot on. Really bent his back and got his shoulder in. Let's have a look. Lima.
Yes, mate.
Jordan Thompson.
A collection. 3 players really putting their bodies in front of him. He's such a big player, Jeff Lima. You need to stand your ground. Jordan Thompson, who's a good utility player for Hull FC, can play in the forwards, can just about get away with playing in the backs these days. Made his name early on as a winger centre, fullback. Adds a lot to the team.
Hold. Goal 1.
Well, Hull have dodged a bullet there, because a centre-6 starting 10 metres out was more likely than not to end in a 3rd Catalan Dragons try, but it isn't. They're hanging on. Oh, they're not hanging on to the ball there, literally, though, are they? Jordan Rankin coughs it up.
Rod, I was just about to say they need to get through this set of 6. They've been under pressure, even when they've been up Catalan's end, they've been marched backwards. They've not been physical enough, in my opinion. Jordan Rankin, there was no real pressure on him there.
And you could see what he was trying to do. He was trying to catch that ball and pass it on to get away from those tight 6 defenders, the big grunt that the Dragons pose in that middle area.
Jordan Rankin scored 24 points for Hull last weekend, a try and 10 goals at Widnes.
Out.
That's the highest ever haul in a match for an overseas player for Hull FC. So a bit of record breaking going on during that caning of the Widnes Vikings.
Move, guys. Oh, he's
last weekend.
Forward. You're coming forward.
What is going on here? Gareth Ellis manages to extricate himself. Elliot Whitehead trying to extricate himself from the clutches of Ellis, and he's found Escaré. Escaré's dancing feet.
The offloads are coming, Rod. The offloads are coming. There's too much energy being spent by Hull FC.
Bosk. This time it's just a little simple drop-off pass. They've kept it simple this time. No offload from Benjamin Garcia. 3 players have to come in to wrap him up, though.
You're not there,
the fuel gauge will be getting close to empty here. Henderson offloads. It's a forward pass. It would have been a try. It would have been a try to the captain, Jason Battieri. Henderson didn't have the patience to hold on. He might well have been able to force his way over himself, in actual fact.
Yeah, the correct decision from the referee. He was right on the spot, Phil Bentham. But because Hull FC are committing 3-4 men to a tackle, they're going to be short. And as soon as Ian Henderson looks up from the ruck and he spots that amount of defenders, 2 of them can't get back in the line. He's going, and as soon as he goes, he's going to create opportunities.
Okay, boys, come on.
Well, a couple of near misses for the Catalan Dragons, and maybe Hull can take something from that, because they could easily have been 20, 22 points to nil behind. Hull have had a couple of sets starting deep inside their own half against them, and they've hung on, and they've got to take some positives from that.
Well, Catalan are making the mistakes at the right area of the pitch, whereas Hull FC, they're making the mistakes, bringing the ball away from the line. They need to get in better field position to have a chance of winning this game.
And that's a great carry. That's the leader of the Hull FC side, showing exactly what his teammates need to do.
Oh, Rankin, the juggling Rankin. The circus act there, as he managed to keep hold of the ball. Yes, bullocking run from Gareth Ellis, the former Wakefield and Leeds Rhinos star, and such a star for the West Tigers in his stint in Australia. Was Player of the Year for the Tigers 3 years running. That's got to make him one of the greatest imports in the NRL from the Super League of all time, really, the way he turned up and played for the West Tigers. He was
a great professional as well. I played with Gareth Ellis while he was playing at Leeds. Great professional. Not just a good player, Rod, a player that turned up every day looking to make those small improvements in his game. And I dare say that's what he's brought to the Hull FC game. Attention to detail and an honesty and integrity that looks, you know, they're only 10-0 down at the minute. They'll need some of that during this game.
You get the feeling that they're hanging on a little bit here as Muniz, Leon Price scoops it up and scoots forward. The former Saints and Bradford man. He's been in terrific form last few weeks. Leon Price for the Catalan Dragons during their resurgent run up the Super League table. Kick through. Shaw will police it. He'll have to play it and bring it out. And the Catalans' cavalry come up to meet him. Henderson is there quickly along with Vincent Duport.
That's a sign you're winning the play the ball battle. When Leon Price gets in at dummy half, he scoops the ball up and he goes. Because failing that, if they're not winning that battle, Leon Price will just stay out of the way of the ruck. He'll direct his troops. What he wants his forwards to do. So warning signs for Hull FC.
Absolutely, Tez. It's energy-sapping stuff for Hull FC, constantly having to come away from the line. Spending energy, not only physical energy, but nervous energy, because you're that close to the edge of the cliff. You know that one mistake could cost you points.
So Feka Paliasina then off the bench. He was playing his rugby league in Limoux in the south of France last year.
Where?
Limoux, where he played in the cup final against Avignon, but now back in the Super League. Former Wigan and Salford star. Well, that kick came from 30 metres away from his own try line there from Jordan Rankin, which is another clear example that the Catalan Dragons are winning the territorial battle.
The last 2 players in that set of 6 were really poor. The hooker didn't have a clue who to pass the ball to. You had Feka Paliasina running through. It was probably his ball to just go as straight and as hard as he could. Was this a penalty?
Yes, it is.
It was an attempted offload. Again, you can see whenever you watch the Dragons, you know what they're going to do.
You've never made it back behind the play, the ball, it's a penalty. Offside.
There's the offload. Henderson is tackled by a player, Setamata Sarr, the former Dragon who's in an illegal position.
But Stuart, was he in front of the play of the ball?
Yeah, he was in front of the ball when it was played, and he's got to get behind the line of the play of the ball before he can join in. And because progress was made, he'd never gone back. So
you can just see him there walking behind, couldn't you?
Yeah, it's the right call.
We approach the half-hour mark. Rankin not biting off more than he can chew. Safety first kick doesn't make much ground, but has made enough to ensure that Hull start this sequence 30 metres out from the Dragons' line. They've had 1/2 a chance when Chris Tewson almost managed to stretch out and ground the ball, but apart from that, not a lot.
I'd like to see some structure here from Hull FC. They've got a couple of tackles to play with, chance to set something up, to put something on they've been working on in the week.
Shaw to Kirk Yeaman. In the veteran stage now, Kirk Yeaman, 30 years old, but he's been around, well, since 2001. Incredible, really. Had 30 tries 1 year back in the day. This is Thompson off the bench.
Release.
Jordan Thompson, former Castleford Tiger.
Catalan. Goal 3.
Jeremiah still out there.
Okay.
Still working at hooker. Oh, looking for first points. Setamata Sarr is on. It's Sarr. C'est Sarr, as they say in France.
4. Go.
Shaw. Oh, that looked a touch forward. Jeremiah play on. Thompson, loose pass, picked up by Hull from Rankin. Rankin. Dancing feet of Jordan Rankin, stepping his way through, and then the gore slams in his face. Elliot Whitehead had hold of the handle. Last tackle then for Hull. Again the call for a forward pass. Again the wild offload. Again it comes to nothing. You said you called for structure, Barry. I didn't see a lot of structure there from Hull FC.
Well, there was a big shot. They went back to the middle. They looked like they were going to have another crack at them, but it's that last tackle option. Richard Horn, probably mentally scarred about the Escarret try, chose to pass the ball, and I don't think that was a great option either.
Do you not think the kick was on there, though, Barry, into the corner?
But I think, again, the fact that he didn't quite get it right the first time, and Escarret put 6 points on the board, might just been in the back of the mind of Richard Horn.
Better defensive stint here from Hull FC, though. They've made the progress limited for the Dragons. Escarret, again, has lit up this game. Zeb Tyre looking to get his left arm free. Can't do so because he's got 3 Hull defenders round him, so this will be the 4th tackle coming up for the Dragons as they creep towards the halfway line. The kick forward from Boss comes, and again it'll be Shaw who traps it with his right thigh and picks it up and starts moving away for Hull FC.
Just to finish that point with Richard Horn, who's a fabulous player and has some really classy touches. Maybe Lee Radford might get a bit of encouragement down to him. Listen, mate, don't lose faith with the game plan. We've set out with thoughts of putting it behind the line. Be brave, show some courage, and stick to the game plan.
Move, Benjamin!
Well, Feka Palliasina is half the player he used to be in terms of his physique. He's lost so much weight since his days at Wigan when he was like a bionic beer barrel. And his stints on the field are longer now, and he's more athletic, and it's got to be a good thing.
Well, I don't think he's lost any of his power either.
No, he looks as powerful. He gets around the pitch a lot better, and I think he's been a very good buy for Lee Radford.
Lean and mean now, Feka Palliasina. The kick goes high, the kick goes long. Millard, remember, has spilt one already in this match, and he's up for this one, and he's dropped another! He's dropped another, Daryl Millard, and it will be a scrum down. And Hull have got the result they wanted. They spun the roulette wheel, and it came up with the right number.
Well, can't even make an excuse about the sunburn in his eyes, because he pouches it. But again, it's just his elbows are too wide. He'll be disappointed. The ball's gone up twice. He's made 2 mistakes. You can bet your bottom dollar if Hull FC get down here again, they'll put the ball into exactly the same position.
He needs to change his bucket. There's a hole in it.
Well, I'll tell you what, if Hull could score here and get it back to 10-6 in a half that's been dominated by the Catalan Dragons, if they can go in at just a handful of points behind, 4 behind, 6 behind, then they will regard that as quite a good work.
Yeah, spend some time down here. They've got just less than 8 minutes on the clock. Spend some time down here, make Catalan Dragons work away from the line, expend some nervous energy being near the edge of their cliff.
I'm not sure, actually.
Well, Ian Henderson just holding his arm.
Oh, that's a worry. That's a worry. No police here.
Okay, boys, we're ready.
Muniz can pack down at 9. We know that he's played there internationally. Moves into the hooking role for the scrum, but that doesn't mean too much.
Here's Shaw. Shaw's gone through a hole. Can he get the ball down? Oh, he was tempted to stretch out. It would have been a double movement had he done so wisely. He kept hold of the ball, burrowing over.
Held up on 2, lads.
Set.
Relax. It's going to be a controlled restart.
Kurt Yeaman was trying to get his way over the try line. He's only scored 2 tries all season. That's a low return for the usually prolific international centre. Back they go to the 10 metres line. Knocking on the door, Hull FC here. A couple of chances. They badly need a try. Here is the new athletic version of Feka Palliasina with a little step. Jeremiah. A low pass that Ellis had to stoop for. Gareth Ellis is over. Gareth Ellis, the Hull FC captain, claims the try and gets the try, and Hull FC are back in business.
Well, that's what you want from your inspirational leader, Gareth Ellis. He's got an awful lot of skill, the balance of the big man. And obviously when things are going against you, you need your big players to step up. And Gareth Ellis on that left edge along with Kirk Yeaman, they've got some strike, they've got some power. And he picks the ball up, just a little footwork at the line is enough to get over and register Hull FC's first points.
6 minutes to go before half-time, and Gareth Ellis gets the first try for the Early Birds. Lee Radford's men looking for a third consecutive away win. Remember, this part of the season they're having to do it tough on the road, with the pitch at the KC Stadium being redone, ready for the football season coming up. So it's road trips all the way for Hull FC. They've had 2 big wins in the last 2 weeks at London and Widnes, but this would be a corking win. Well, Rankin here nailed everything. Last week, you got the feeling at Widnes he'd have kicked them off the stand roof if you've asked him to. He was 10 out of 10 with the boot. Can he carry on where he left off?
Well, they've been under pressure in the opening 34 minutes of this game, so Jordan Rankin, there's a vital 2 points on offer here, so just take your time, be nice and composed, and let's just see if you can slot the ball in between the uprights.
And he's at it again. Oh, well, I'll tell you what, that looked very close. That looked fairly adjacent, didn't it?
Well, I'm sure they'll just be pleased to get the points on the board. We had a lovely shot of the Hull FC fans in great voice, great spirits. That will lift them, not just the players. Nothing too complex about this. Gareth Ellis steps off his left foot, little dummy, and that's the first try of the afternoon for the Hull FC.
I don't think Barry's going to answer your question there, Rod.
It did look adjacent, didn't it? Did you think that looked adjacent, Stuart?
It looked pretty close. I would like to see it again, just to check.
Well, maybe they should put a crossbar on top of the post, then it'd be easier to find out whether it'd gone through or not, wouldn't it?
Move!
Well, Ian Henderson asking for an obstruction then. Is it Jordan Thompson? He accused him of running behind one of his players. Simple set of 6 now. 5 drives, kick it down the field. There he is.
Well, a couple of near misses for the Dragons when they had good field position midway through this first half. They could have blown Hull clean out of the water and put the game out of their reach, but now it's back within their reach. There's no question about that, as Ben Crooks is grabbed by the ankle by Zeb Taylor, and that was an important challenge from Zeb Taylor because Crooks was looking to stretch his legs. Westerman, that'll be a penalty for offside.
Oh, just
that's
a lack of understanding, and Joe Westerman is fuming with his support runner. It's crucial after points that you get to your kick and then hand the baton back to your opposition. And you could see what Hull FC were doing. They were moving the Dragons from the right side back over to the left. But a needless penalty.
Wait for it, lads.
Well, crucial phase of the game here with just a converted try between the 2 teams, and this last 3.5 minutes of the first period could set the pattern. Could there be a crucial score for either team at this stage as Garcia takes it forward here for the Dragons? Can they go in with the kind of scoreline that the first half passage of play would really dictate? Boss this first half. They'll feel at half-time they should be more than 6 in front. They may be by the end of it. We'll see what happens here as Henderson now restored to fitness. Price finds Escaré. Escaré goes round in a circle. Now he's got it out to Millard, who catches this one all right. His handling has been pretty ordinary so far this afternoon. Almost through. Liner makes an important tackle. A couple of tackles left for the Dragons. Price has his hands on the ball once more. Leon Price crabbing sideways. Still going Price. Straights it up now, Leon Price, and couldn't find someone on his shoulder. Quick play the ball from the Catalan Dragons. Is that going to be a try? It will be. That's a try. Looks like Garcia, and Garcia's gone over underneath the post, and that could be a crucial blow just 2 minutes before half-time. It was made by Leon Price's run, the quick play the ball, and then Garcia with the darting run.
Well, Benjamin Garcia scores the try, but how much time does Leon Price look like he's got when he's just skirting across the Hull FC's defensive line? He gets a couple of static defenders at marker for Hull FC. A quick play the ball from Leon Price. You can see that Gareth Ellis isn't set. So Garcia gets out, Joe Westerman just his feet planted. He steps off his right. He beats Westerman, he leaves Gareth Ellis at marker, and he gets inside Fekka Paliasina.
I do like Garcia. He's all about energy, he's all about desire. Plays in the front row, plays in the back row. We see Leon Price just breathing in the big ones. He had a massive input. His urgency to play that ball, probably doing the job of a front rower, to be fair. Oliver Ellimer just watching on from the sideline.
Time off.
Former Avignon forward gets over and saves the blushes of the Dragons. I agree, Rod, they've had the better of the first half, but if you looked at the scoreboard before that try, it's fairly even.
Bosk looking for a second conversion. Yeah, Leon Price creating the try. Incredible to think that Leon Price is in his 17th Super League season. It takes some doing. 16-4 after the kick from Bosk.
Well, he's the man who keeps the nerves, Leon Price, but Garcia, you can see a couple of static defenders, which makes it so much easier for the man who gets out from dummy half. The markers aren't set. Good play, ball in two hands, and then all of a sudden he tucks it under his right wing and takes Jamie Shaw over. Does he drop that ball?
Well, I think he's lost the ball on that one.
I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, I think he keeps hold of that.
He's got to keep hold of it in his hand. He actually grounds it with his arm, so he's not actually in possession there.
Well, as they used to say, Barry, it'll be in the papers, as we say now.
Correct.
It'll be on the internet already.
Correct. And just a word on Leon Price. He's a very durable character. The cynical side of me says, well, he spent the first couple of years of his career in the lip gloss gang out on the wing, and he's come back into the middle and started to earn a living, but he's a great player that really adds to this Dragon side, and did for Saints and Bradford before that.
In the final minute of the first half, the Stade Gilbert Brutus, Catalan Dragons looking for their 8th win on home soil. Boss going for a 40-20. It stood up, went sideways and then stopped, and Lynham picks it up. Danny Brough almost has a monopoly on 40-20s. He's got half of them this year. He's got 7 of the 40-20s that have been kicked. It's a very, very useful weapon if you can perfect it.
It's still a very good kick, isn't it?
Yes.
It bounced on the 20 metres, and this is the second play. I'll come to the third play, and they've only managed to make 20 metres.
It will be the final set of the first half, and Hull just looking to finish without making any more mistakes. Get through this set, get into half-time. 2 converted tries behind they will be when the final siren of the first half goes. And there it is in the background. The siren goes. Phil Bentham blows the whistle. It's been a good first half for the Catalan Dragons. 3 tries to 1. Escaré, Oldfield and Garcia got their tries. The sole reply from Gareth Ellis for Hull FC. And the Dragons lead 16-4.
No wonder Joe Westerman was furious, because that penalty that they conceded in the middle of the field ultimately led to that Garcia try. And all that good work that Hull had done to stay in the hunt, well, not completely undone, but leaves them with a lot of hot work to do in the second half. It's a big effort needed from the Black and Whites, who are in blue today, to get back with the Dragons.
The Gladiators are entering the arena.
Good evening. I have a confession to make.
Would someone like to explain what's going on here?
Would you like a hint?
I want to know.
Oh, my God.
Hasn't been that long, has it?
So the detective returns.
You look exactly the same.
You're joking?
This again? Seriously?
What?
Watch the latest series of Elementary from the beginning. Friday at 9 on Sky Living HD. Or catch up now on demand.
Right now at Sainsbury's, the Cif bath and shower spray costs only £1.50. That's less than Tesco.
Sing, sing, sing.
You and this army. Clash of Clans. Download for free.
Can you feel that? When both teams score, it's goals galore. Pick 3 correct games and turn a tenner into £55. Pick 5 games and pocket 170. If you love football, you'll love a bit of Betfriend. Sign up now for no deposit, £10 free bet, exclusively on your mobile.
I might have a win-win for both of us.
As a Sky Sports customer, you can get Sky Movies for just £2 extra a week.
That's so awesome.
You can get more of the year's biggest box office hits 12 months before online subscription services.
I would be okay with that.
How would I actually...
How is the easy bit, in fact.
To get Sky Movies for just £2 extra a week, log into your account at sky.com/addmovies or call 0844 241 1007.
All right, Keith.
All right.
Thought your party was last week.
Oh, what this? Well, the shop doesn't want it back till tomorrow, so...
Like getting your money's worth? Try the 99p cheeseburger or mayo chicken, part of the Saver menu.
From the technology that comes as standard to the quality that makes our customers write amazing reviews. Kia don't just make cars, we make surprises.
It's what you wanted from a loan provider. MyMate.co.uk.
Know what your loan will cost with our MyMate calculator. Borrow from 2 months to 1 year. Apply for a loan that you can afford. Get the financial help you need with a MyMate loan tailored to suit you. Who wanted orangutans?
That was me.
Apply now at mymate.co.uk.
I think my mum's magic. She knows how to speak to animals. She magic money out of the wall with her phone. But the best thing is she never forgets anything. Yup, Mum's definitely magic.
Sky Sports 5, your new home of European football, launches August 12th.
The Gladiators are entering the arena.
He's in sensational form.
This is sheer quality. Little wonder that the supporters are in heaven.
What a brilliant try this is going to be. Sensational score. This is absolutely out of the top drawer.
And it's more than likely going to be unmissable next Friday on Sky Sports 1 at 7:30 as the Wigan Warriors take on St Helens. A game not to be missed. If you can join us for that one on Friday night. Could be a second half not to be missed here because Catalan Dragons leading 16 points to 4. Hull not completely out of it, but they have got some work to do. They had some work to do in that first half, John, which the Catalan Dragons largely dominated.
Yeah, they did, and it was their crown jewel who got the scoring underway. Morgan Escaré after 11 minutes, poor kick from Horn, great quick hands from Pomeroy, and this try number 15 for Escaré, one for the highlight reel. Genuine blistering pace, could have been dragging an anvil behind him and still would have scored that try. A real talented player is Morgan Escaré, joint top try scorer in Super League, and then 5 minutes later Oldfield's try, going to the air again, the Catalan Dragons, kicks 1 and 2 didn't bear fruit for them, kick number 3 from Bosk did, pinpoint effort, really well leapt for and taken by Michael Oldfield. That took them to 10-0, and we had to wait 33 minutes before Hull opened their account. Millard unable for the second time that half to defuse the bomb, and off the back of that, Hull with their go-to play, their left edge, Catalan's right. Look at Thomas Bosk right of his screen, slow to retreat, and it's eventually where Gareth Ellis punches his way through the line to get Hull on the board. But after that miscommunication between Paliacina and Westham in midfield, set up for a effort right on the stroke of half-time by Benjamin Garcia. Quick play the ball in the build-up from Leon Price after a good searching run across the sticks. And route one for the Catalan Dragons. That'll be soft, and Lee Radford will be disappointed with the way they defended that, particularly underneath the sticks. For me, offloads and quick play the balls, as Baz said in commentary, are absolutely killing the away side. The Catalan Dragons look well and truly like they're in a groove, and you know, they could go on and make this another cricket score.
But Lee Radford probably also disappointed that Benjamin Garcia effort wasn't referred to the video ref, because there was a suspicion that maybe he parted company with control of the ball just at the crucial moment. We will never know. Phil Bentham instantly awarded that try. Hull will be kicking themselves because despite taking a battering from Catalan, they'd still managed to be hanging in there. Ellis's try had given them a bit of a lifeline, and then they go and concede that Garcia try right at the end of the first half. A bit of a mix-up, as he said, in the middle of the field. Westerman and Palliacina getting in a tangle. No wonder Joe Westerman was furious.
It's hard enough in the south of France anyway when you're dealing with the conditions which are not familiar to you. That's not an excuse, but it's a change in the environment that you're playing in without making things more difficult for yourself. Cold drop, remember, by Rankin midfield, and then an obstruction whilst in possession is a real criminal offence, and the Catalan Dragons need no more invitation than they already have to come forward on you. And as I said, it is in Hull FC's interest now to really try and slow down the speed of this ruck and try and stop some offloads, because they're defending and making far many more efforts in defence than they really need to, and it's their prerogative to shut that down.
They really are missing Danny Houghton, of course. Danny Houghton out of this game because he's just become a father. Congratulations to him and his other half for that. But not a lot of celebrating so far for Hull FC after a pretty torrid first 40 minutes, which finds them trailing at the break by 16 points to 4. All hope is not lost, but it's going to be a big effort if they're to make it 3 wins in a row in Super League.
Has he got downward pressure?
I think so.
Every Tuesday on Nat Geo, we're opening the doors to the history that defines us. From the great structures that have shaped our past, to the infamous leaders that tried to change our future. Take the time this Tuesday to explore the history that made us, with a lineup of shows that dig, dive and delve into our rich and eventful past. Timeless Tuesdays. Tuesdays from 8. This is Timeless History. This is National Geographic Channel.
Last week, my wife said she had a backache. She found it difficult to run, twist or jump. Last week, I felt a whole lot safer. Unlike products that work by only cooling and heating the skin, Voltarol contains an anti-inflammatory, which strikes at the cause of pain, providing powerful deep-down relief. Voltarol, the joy of movement.
Many negative forces are sent to disturb us.
No! Oh my God.
But Jim, my Aviva personal claim manager, took care of every step in the restoration of my car. So I'm spreading the word.
Now you don't have to make a claim to find out what your insurance company is really like. Customer claim reviews at aviva.co.uk.
Are you ready for England's World Cup game against Costa Rica this Tuesday? BetBright will give you £100 if England beat Costa Rica 3-0. Just free text BET to 67555 to get your free bet. That's right, a massive £100 if England beat Costa Rica 3-0. So free text BET to 67555 or visit betbright.com/TV for your chance to win £100. BetBright, live the moment.
I might have a win-win for both of us.
As a Sky Sports customer, you can get Sky Movies for just £2 extra a week.
That's so awesome.
You can get more of the year's biggest box office hits 12 months before online subscription services.
I would be okay with that.
How would I actually...
The how is the easy bit, in fact.
To get Sky Movies for just £2 extra a week, log into your account at sky.com/addmovies or call 0844 241 1007.
Only way to get first, second, or third Meerkat toy is to get car or home insurance or switch the energy, so compare the market.com. No take them from Papa Alexander. Oh, okay, no, here, look, simples.
What should a home be?
Warm.
Loving.
Individual.
So what should a mortgage be?
Helpful, competitive, rewarding. It should save you £500 on upfront costs when buying a home and offer a great fixed or tracker rate. Plus, if you're a 123 current account holder, give 1% cash back on your Santander mortgage payments. Simple, personal, fair. It's what a bank should be.
Your new home of European football launches August 12th.
Has he got downward pressure?
I think so.
There's more Super League action coming up on Sky Sports on Thursday when Hull Kingston Rovers, still with hopes of making the top 8, face the Huddersfield Giants. 7:30, Sky Sports 1 from the KC Lightstream Stadium for that one. Then on Friday from the DW Stadium, Wigan Warriors against St Helens. 7:30, Sky Sports 1 for that. So 2 big games to look forward to. Big second half to look forward to from the star Gilbert Brutus. Could be a tough second half for Hull FC, who trail 16-4 at the break. And second half ready to come out underway. The match officials just taking the field. And time for us to return to our commentary team, led by Rod Stone.
Thank you, Bill. Their last visit in the Super League to the south of France ended in a 30-4 defeat for Hull FC. They trailed by a dozen as the second half gets underway under the watchful gaze of Phil Bentham, the match referee, as Rankin hammers it long, got plenty of depth, got plenty of height. Escaré collects, and the Dragons are off and running at the start of the second half. Escaré got the opening try of the match, followed by touchdowns from Oldfield and Garcia for Catalan. Gareth Ellis, the Hull FC captain, with the sole reply for his side. But a bit of shadow out there, which Hull will be relieved about, with the thermometer ticking up into the high 20s Celsius at the Stade Gilbert Brutus this afternoon. Another baking hot afternoon in the south of France. Paliacina makes the tackle. Leon Price is in at dummy half. Garcia, the try scorer, plays the ball. Price, staccato run. All wrapped up this time. Gareth Ellis is there to assist one of 3 Hull FC tacklers, but already they've got a roll on here. Ian Henderson offloads to Whitehead. Whitehead stands, has to go down under another tackle from Gareth Ellis, who at 33 years old is putting in a huge shift here for Hull FC. Henderson to Bosk to Price. Price again. Well, play on is the call from Phil Bentham, and Hull have got the ball back anyway, as it happens. I think Thompson is the man who's pounced on the loose ball.
Well, Lee Radford, he's going to want a good start in this second half with the ball from his players. And when they are defending, they need to make sure that they wrap up the ball. Oh, well, that is not the start that he wants. The first time they get hold of possession in the second half, they come up with a mistake, again close to the line. And we've seen in the first half how dangerous Catalan can be when they're given opportunities close to Hull FC's line. There's the ball, goes forward from Rankin to Setamata Sarr.
Okay, fellas.
Well, the second half starting in similar vein to the first, with Hull making a handling error inside their own half. Already 2 converted tries adrift of the Catalan Dragons, who were probably valued for more than the lead of 16 points to 4 in the first half. Hull had precious little in terms of attacking position. They scored from maybe one of only 2 real opportunities they had near the Catalan Dragons line, whereas the Dragons themselves blew a host of opportunities. Here's Bosk. That's a loose pass. It's picked up by Escaré. Escaré shaped initially to kick there, which would have been extraordinary on the second tackle, but Dupont collects and Ben Crooks makes the tackle.
Hold! Goal 3.
Tyre. Zeb Tyre running straight into Thompson, running hard. Hadley, and again they're having to work overtime here. The Hull FC defenders, just to keep the Catalan Dragons at bay. And how much will they have left in the final quarter of this match? Price. That was a interesting pass. It had little ambition to it, but it set up the platform right in the shadow of the posts, quite literally. And that is going to be a turnover, which is a bit of a soft turnover. They've turned it over near the line, but to finish the set there with something as unambitious, and that leads you to believe they didn't know the tackle count was running out.
Well, just to explain why, I think it was Leon Price who gave it to Elliot Whitehead. It was the front door runner he gave him because the defence of Hull SC had come up and closed the options that Leon Price had down. So some good work needed from Hull FC, coming away from their own line again. They can't continue to do this for the whole game.
Third. Move, Greg!
Well, Hull below Hull KR in the table, going into this match after that win at Odsal last night for Hull KR. Huddersfield have won today 38-22 against the London Broncos. So the Catalan Dragons can not move anywhere in the league table. They can't go up from their 7th position, but they can certainly get onto the fringes of the top 4. But in order to get into that top 4, they're going to have to start winning on the road, Catalan Dragons, which they haven't done often enough in this Super League season. At home, they've been virtually invincible. Just one defeat to the Leeds Rhinos at the back end of February.
And just another thing to watch out here. Watch how tight Catalan keep these ruck carries. They're looking to tire the big man out.
Second!
You see Palliasina getting some work. Will they stick to Palliasina?
Hands bent.
There we see he's doubling up his efforts. He's going to be able to do 1, possibly 2. When it comes to the 3rd one, it's probably a bit too much for a big man.
Too soon, stand up.
Seb Tyre. Oh, this time the offload without due care and attention, and it's mopped up by Hull. Well, the offloading game has been their strategy. Seti Matasar, perhaps they thought he was still playing for the Catalan Dragons, but sooner or later it's going to go wrong occasionally. It's the game plan, and once or twice in a game it will go wrong.
Of course it will. It's how you react to that mistake, and Seti Matasar gets his arms free and he can't bring that ball back, and you can't take that away from them. We've seen Catalan over the years play that offloading type of rugby, and that's what we all like to watch.
Ben Crooks, last season's Young Player of the Year. Remember the 4 tries in a game that he scored at Castleford. Rankin, stuttering staccato steps of Rankin, drops it off to Ellis, who drops the ball. Knock on by the Hull captain. Meaty hit by Elliot Whitehead did the damage.
It's a great shot from Elliot Whitehead. He's having a tremendous season. You could argue if you were picking an England side or a Great Britain side tomorrow, you'd have Elliot Whitehead in that back row. Devastating with the ball, and we've just seen his defence isn't too shabby either.
No, it's just because we're waiting for you to get ready. Yeah.
Well, Steve McNamara has been over in the last week or so from his current base in Australia.
Pretty good.
For an England training camp. They don't have a match, though, until the end of the season in the 4 nations in Australia and New Zealand.
Release! Hold jaw.
Has he lost that ball, Ben Pomeroy?
Penalty given. He had lost it, and it was stolen, said Phil Bentham.
Ball steal.
Well, 2 men in the tackle for Hull FC. Ian Henderson with a quick tap. An easy 15, maybe 20 metres here.
Move!
Yeah, didn't want to go punting the ball into touch. Got the Dragons on the front foot again. This time it's Muniz stepping through, and a few half gaps appearing in the Hull FC defence.
And that was only the 6th penalty of this game, 3 apiece.
Leon Price has gone through a hole. Price offloads. He's got Escaré inside him, Daryl Millard. He doesn't need the flying fullback, and Daryl Millard goes over in the corner himself. The former Wakefield man touches down, his 7th Super League try of the season, and Dragons draw first blood in the second half.
Well, one thing we know about Daryl Millard is he can score a try. He's got pace to burn. We see great effort here. And when Catalan are playing with pace, they look at what's available to them. Leon Price, a simple dummy, and the Hull defenders flopped to the player that they thought was receiving the ball. He just brought it back in, Leon Price, kept his feet. A beautiful pass. And Daryl Millard bought himself enough time to squeeze it in the corner. The first try of the second half goes to the Dragons.
Leon Price's 13th assist of the Super League season. That puts him right up in the top 10. Matty Smith of Wigan heads the pile with 19 assists, but Price at his creative best. Making it 20 points to 4, that try from Daryl Millard. Bosk has tagged on the extras to 2 of the 3 previous tries. Well, already the signs are ominous, Terry, aren't they, for Hull FC?
This game could be going away from Hull FC. A poor start in the second half. Will Thomas Bosk got another 2 points that puts the pressure on Hull FC that they need to come out, they need to throw the ball around and take the chances. Take the chance in these conditions, and all of a sudden they come on the back foot again.
Time on.
That's hit the post. No doubt about that one. 20 points to 4 to the Catalan Dragons. The upright saves Hull from conceding another 2. Millard ghosting in the corner.
Well, you can put this down to the break from Leon Price, but Leon Price has come from the open side of the pitch to the blind side because he saw Setamata Sarr getting back late. It was a late retreater. The gap was there. There was nobody there. And Leon Price goes through, and that's clever play from Darryl Millard. Hold the ball out in two hands. And Jamie Shaw, well, he just stumbled for a second, which led to the winger scoring the try.
Well, Leon Price was actually joint man of the match in the Challenge Cup final against the Catalan Dragons for St Helens in 2007, but now very much a key man in the south of France, set up under Laurent Frasignieux. I mean, they could hike their way up the table a bit further, Terry. The aim, of course, is to get home games in the playoff, and in order to get a home game, they'd have to finish at least 6th in the table. But they wouldn't be a place that anyone would fancy coming to in a playoff game, would they?
No, it wouldn't. You look at how they dismantled St Helens last week, the way that they played in this game. When that man is on song, Leon Price, and what you want, as the Catalan coach, Laurent Frasignieux, he wants Leon Price to run, take the opportunities many times as he can. And if he does that, this side are a very good side.
Well, one of Leeds Rhinos' recent grand final wins came with a win at Catalan Dragons on the road, one of their finest playoff victories, but they are few and far between home defeats in the playoffs for the Dragons, and few and far between all told this season home defeats. Landed well there for Hull FC. Rankin now has his hands on the ball. Richard Horne spreading it. Ellis running this left-hand channel as he so often does. Runs into 3 Catalan Dragons this time. He's got 1 try this afternoon, Gareth Ellis, and now he spilled the ball again, and that's his second handling error in a couple of minutes too for the veteran Hull FC captain.
A bit too sloppy again. Just less than 10 minutes on this clock. Can't be fatigue.
Could it be mental fatigue, though?
It could be. As I said, they've played a lot of the game close to their own line. And you see from the reaction of Gareth Ellis, he gets up. There's no real argument.
Well, half the battle when you are absolutely exhausted mentally or physically is to convince your opponent you're not. And Gareth Ellis didn't look all that convincing there, did he? He looks that he's on his last legs and needs a breather.
Well, body language tells an awful lot of tales, and obviously the likes of Leon Price is going to be having a little look up, seeing what the forwards are doing for Hull FC and who are the targets, who are the men to go at.
Wait.
Moulis had his hands on the ball. Escaré drops in. Vincent Duport carts it forward. Big men knocking big holes in the Hull FC defence, puffing and panting a bit. And there's still, as they look at the clock, half an hour to go. That cannot be a sight that would be at all welcome for Hull FC. 16 adrift already, and on the back foot here once more. Garcia, who got one of the tries in the first half. This is the final tackle in this sequence. That will be a relief for Hull this time. Price floats the ball up. A hanging ball is perfect in weight and well claimed. Tell you what, he weighted that perfectly, landed just about on the try line, and Hull have done well to deal with it.
But there's no pressure on Leon Price. Leon Price is just standing there. He takes a couple of steps and then he places the kick into the corner. Hull FC need to get off the line, whether it's Thomas Bosk or Leon Price. You'd have to nominate a person within your team to get off the line and put pressure on him.
Well, it was well claimed by Fatuli Talanoa. We've seen precious little of on the wing here for Hull FC, a man who scored 7 tries for them this season. He's their 3rd top try scorer, but he hasn't had a sniff on this left wing. That's gone loose, and it will be a penalty for a ball steal.
Well, you can put that down to a carry from Gareth Ellis. I know we're looking at him and wondering whether he's tired. He carted the ball up. 3 defenders had to account for him. A bit of movement from the left side of the pitch to the right for Hull FC. And Ben Crooks, who hasn't really got into 2014, he's an incredible talent, Ben Crooks. Needs a run of games to find that form that he ended last year with.
He was the young player of the year last year, and there was a lot of pundits who felt that it should have gone to Morgan Escaré. And those pundits would appear to be right on current evidence that Escaré has really kicked on, and Crooks had an injury hit into last campaign and struggled in the cup final through injury. Here they come though with Jamie Shaw, Hull FC, what they would give for a try here.
Third, boys.
Keep them very much in the game. A game that they've no business still to be in all honesty, but they're hanging on in there, Hull FC. You've got to give them some credit for that. An underarm offload from Joe Westerman.
Nearly an obstruction as well. He had to pass that ball.
Said to Dean Hadley, get out of the way. Westerman once more. That's a good ball. There's a chance here. Ellis, Gareth Ellis, it should have gone further, but he chips it inside. But Jamie Shaw, and Shaw is wrapped up. He cannot get over the try line. Well, apologies if you heard the language from Jamie Shaw on the referee's mic there. It was somewhat unsavoury. It is a penalty to Hull FC for a ball steal.
Well, the spread from one side to the other, and you can just see the amount of numbers. 4 men going to stop Jamie Shaw, 5 men scoring the try.
Well, it was an important stop, but Hull have got exactly what they want. Field position and a full set of tackles right underneath the Dragons' post. No obstruction, says Phil Bentham this time. It's fine, is the cry. As Hadley takes it up. Dragons felt there should have been a penalty, none forthcoming. And Richard Horne to Westerman, who's seen a lot of the ball in this sequence of play. Rankin going nowhere this time, down a cul-de-sac. Absolutely nowhere to go for the Hull FC halfback. And now it's going to be a very slow, laborious play the ball. And eventually it is played. Now they get moving with some more tempo. Richard Horne! Horne's going to score! Horne has got the ball down, has he?
I think he's dropped this.
That's the question.
I think he's dropped it, and I think there's an obstruction in before
just
as
the
well.
grounding, please, Thierry.
He's obviously not wanting to look at that, but I think we'll see from that he's dropped the ball, he's lost the ball.
And Richard Horne should know better than that. Whether there's an obstruction or not, if you're in a position to put the ball down over the stripe, holy moly.
Well, he's certainly lost the ball. I think Escarret's knocked his arm, which has knocked the ball out.
20.
So this should be no try.
No try indeed.
20.
Richard Horne's 397th career appearance, and with all that experience, he has to be scoring from there.
Well, them opportunities don't present themselves very often in the south of France. And what you've got to, when you look at Catalan, and you're the coach, Lauren Fraser, you look how hard they work when the ball goes away from them. They keep on pushing. They are not going to be that weak link in the defensive line. So when the ball comes back towards where the space there should be, that there's a big opportunity, a big gap for Hull FC to score.
I don't think anyone is going to seriously argue that Catalan Dragons don't deserve to be winning, but when you look at one or two things that have gone the other way, Hull's conversion that appeared to go over that wasn't, the drop ball by Garcia that was awarded as a try, and Richard Horne, who should have scored there. The game could be much closer.
You'd like to think that the players, the Hull FC players, are just taking mental pictures in the mind of opportunities that they're getting. Because they're spending time at the other end of the field, it's a very difficult job to get into that position, but once they do, they've got the potential to post points.
Jeff Lima trundles forward. Former Lance Todd Trophy winner for the Wigan Warriors in the Cup final. This time the kick comes from much deeper, and that's going to go all the way dead, I think, of the boot of Escarret. And Hull will start again from their own 20-metre line.
Hull FC have got enough quality in this side to get back in front. You look at Jamie Shaw, you look at Joe Westerman getting, he needs to get his hands on the ball as well. And maybe link up with Richard Horne and Jordan Rankin. They've got an awful lot of their talent, but they need to believe that they can get back in this game.
Go, play on,
Haven't even reached the quarter of an hour mark in the second half yet, so there's plenty of time here for Hull. That's Thompson.
Move!
His first season at Hull FC, having moved in the off-season from the Castleford Tigers. Heremiah, Rankin. Crooks here. Sidestepping run. Eludes Jeff Lima. That's as far as he's going, though, and he's almost up to the halfway line, Crooks. That was the fourth tackle in this sequence for Hull FC. It's a decent run from Mickey Payer.
That's better. That's better. A couple of big runs in a set 6 like that, you can play off the back of that.
You can, and they are. And this time Yeaman, he offloads to Talanoa. Talanoa puts on an optimistic kick, and it's easy enough for Daryl Millard, the man who scored the only points of this second half. Millard taking it on the fly and making good yardage.
Well, that's the gamble. If you pop out, as Hull FC did on that short side, good offload. You pop out, you've not got an organised kick. It's a bit of a hit and hope.
Escarret is an opportunist, isn't he? He drifts around, lurking in back play, always looking to be the man receiving the offload. Price spins out a pass, which had good pace on it. Collected by Millard, who's tackled on the far side by Rankin. Dragon down in back play.
Yeah, Leon Price was asking the referee, was that okay? Are you happy with that?
5, move!
Somebody took a real whack in the back plate.
Hold.
Yes.
Goal 5.
Price prods it through, says, we'll take a scrum, thank you very much.
And that's smart, that. He knows that it looks like Zeb Tyer's down on the floor. He knows that he's down injured. Just wants to get the ball off the island. Probably force the hand of the referee.
Well, we're not in control of the pictures. They're coming from the host broadcaster in France, so we can't just order up a replay of the incident. We can now. There we are.
No, it seemed all right.
It was set to Martissat.
Wait, just come in, just come in.
Well, the ball's gone across him. Just have a little look at Zeb Taylor. He relaxes. He's having a little look at the ball that's gone in front of him. He wasn't expecting that tackle.
Well, it's a shoulder charge. That's the top bottom of it. It's probably drawn in and hitting a bit on suspicion, but it is a shoulder charge.
So
and he's a tough player as well. Sorry, Rod, he's not the type of bloke to stay down on the floor unless he needs a breather.
When you're taking out the passer.
Hull FC getting a break this time.
Jeff's done one as well. Let's make sure we time it right. Heads in.
Scrum down. Hull FC head of ball. 20 metres out from their own line, looking to go from deep, bringing Jamie Shaw onto the ball once more. Hat-trick scorer last weekend, just signed a new 5-year deal at the KC Stadium Club.
Stay square, hold, go 1.
This is
Second,
Kirk Yeaman.
Release, back up.
Just 4 points scored in the second half.
Goal
Daryl
2.
Millard's try, it came on 47 minutes. As the sun beats down in the south of France, and Jeremiah finds Rankin, and Rankin finds the hurdling Ben Crooks.
Move!
Oh, some high hurdling technique that was quite superb from the Hull FC centre. Rankin. And this is Thompson looking to go through a hole, but the door again was shut very quickly. 2 tackles left in this sequence. They've made decent ground here, Hull FC. That is a dominant tackle and a domineering tackle by the Dragons.
Well, Hull FC were just starting to poke their noses through Jordan Turner before that, and Jeremiah slammed on his back.
Easy for Morgan Escaré, very easy. Mind you, he makes a lot of things look very easy. This young man, 22 years old, incredible to think only his second season in the Super League, looks an absolute star in the making. In fact, already a star in his second season.
Another one. Jordan Thompson, I think he called him Jordan Turner before. Jordan Thompson really putting his body on the line.
Well, that's knocked out. That's got to be a penalty. Michael Simon was carrying the ball. Might have been carrying it somewhat loosely, but you can't just punch the ball out like that. That's no good.
No, I agree with you. It's Garafellis who knocks that ball out. 2 very strong carries. The first one here, you see from Jeff Lima, lands on his front, plays the ball very quickly, and then Michael Simon, who comes on the back of that and earns his side a penalty.
Yeah, so Jordan Thompson having a briefing meeting there with gentleman Jeff Lima. So another set for the Dragons.
Sorry, Rod, I was going to say, do you know what's the difference with both sides? I think the exit sets, bringing the ball away from the line. I think Catalan have been a lot better. Another big, strong run from Jason Battieri.
1, release Mitch.
Taking its toll again.
Back up, Jamie, come on, 1, that's all right.
The yardage they're making is impressive. Price. Well, that's going to be picked up on the floor by Escaré, I think, eventually. Well, I don't know what's going on there. It's a schmozzle. It'll be a try to Millard, and I bet you any money this will go to the video referee. Yeah. Daryl Millard touches down. Will it be his second try of the game? It was a schmozzle, Stuart, was it not? A stramash.
Well, it was on the ground for a while, and a lot of players were being involved, I think.
That is indeed the dictionary definition of a stramash. Talk us through it, Stuart.
Right. Well, first of all, still play on. Nobody's touched it with the hands. Nobody's touched it with the hands. Backwards from Catalan. That looks like play on to me.
I think Escaré's knocked that ball on.
We'll probably see better from this angle, Barry.
I'll have your 10p on it, Stuart. Watch Escaré. Watch him.
No, we didn't actually, no.
I don't see it.
No, I think that goes backwards. I think that's all right. The only thing you might want to have a look at there is the pullback on the Hull player. And here Phil Bentham in the background.
Check that, please.
Is he prevented from getting towards the ball? Certainly, as far as what's happened with the ball, I don't think there's anything wrong there. So, providing there's no pullback on the Hull player and he's not prevented from getting to the ball, then this would be a try. And I'm sure we'll have a look at that now.
Just if he's pulled back as he goes for the ball, the whole player.
I'm going to take my knock-on back, Stuart. I'm going to take my bet back.
There's contact there. There's contact with Duport, but I don't think it actually affects anything. The ball sort of comes to nothing. I don't think that's enough to disallow the try.
It doesn't do enough. And I don't think there's a knock-on by Morgan Escarate.
Well, last Thursday night, we saw contact made between Tom Briscoe and Danny Brough, which led to what would have been a Leeds Rhinos winning try, chalked off. You could see it being given as a penalty, and this is a difficult decision. This is a difficult decision, this one, I would say.
But then is there an obstruction on Morgan Escarate?
Well, there you are then. Try disallowed. So there was enough contact.
It's a pullback.
A pullback, says Thierry Alibert.
Time off.
Penalty to Hull.
Another reminder to the Hull FC side just what kind of threat the Dragons pose. Does really well, Daryl Millard.
Okay, boys.
Cons and kids, everybody. What was that word? Shamash.
Stramash.
Stramash. I like
boys,
that.
It's a penalty for the pullback, so you need to set the 10. No, just go. It's a pullback. It's a pullback.
Well, Phil Bentham doing his best here to explain what on earth is going on. It is a penalty to Hull for the pullback by Duport. It will be a penalty. Otherwise, it would have been a second try to Daryl Millard. It remains 20 points to 4 to the Dragons. That could have been the final game breaker for Catalan. And as it is, the flickering flame still burns for Hull FC.
And with just over 20 minutes to go in this fixture, how much energy have Hull FC got? Have they got enough to trouble the Catalan side and come up with a couple of tries towards the back end of this game?
This is good stuff. Shaw, we've seen a lot of Jamie Shaw this afternoon. They've lost the last 3 trips in the Super League to the south of France, Hull FC, and 3 heavy defeats too. This looks like being another defeat, but, well, as Terry said, still 20 minutes left. Not mission impossible, just mission improbable.
No, I agree with both here. I think they need to score next, that's obvious. They need to spend more time down here, that's obvious. They need to prevent Catalan from scoring, and that's obvious as well, but it's not beyond them.
You've come up with a lot of obvious points there.
Here, lads.
My job.
Set him out to Sarr with a good run for his new club. Hull FC had been a spell at Rugby Union, but getting straight back into the Super League swing of things. That's a pass that's gone behind too many players. It's picked up by Yeeman. It's now collected by Talanoa, and Talanoa's broken through. Talanoa, brilliant ball, brilliant offload, superb try for Kurt Yeeman. That was made by Patuli Talanoa, who burst through the gap, and then the offload was brilliant, and Yeeman gets only his 3rd Super League try of the season.
Well, Rod, at the risk of stating the obvious, Hull FC are back in this game. Wonderful dancing feet from Talanoa. A risky offload. And we talked about Kurt Yeeman and not scoring too many points, too many tries this year. Look at that, Morgan Escarate has no chance. Kurt Yeeman puts that ball and puts Hull FC back into this game.
Well, they've got a chance now. Kurt Yeeman not switching off when the ball goes away from him. He knows that he's got to back Talanoa up. And the fancy footwork, it just bamboozled Morgan Escarate, who couldn't wrap the ball up. And now can Jordan Rankin kick this conversion?
Well, it's an important one. And he has kicked it, and that takes the lead down to just 10. 20 points to 10 then.
Well, game on. Don't make any mistakes. Good footwork, and you can see just because of that footwork, Morgan Escarate, he couldn't wrap up the ball. Excellent work from the winger, who pushes through 2 defenders. Good step, left foot, right foot. Passes the ball, one-handed offload to Kurt Yeeman.
Time off.
Who knows what a danger his wingman is. Normally, Kurt Yeeman setting up the tries for Talanoa. Horn collects the kickoff for Hull, who've
actually now lead this second half by 6 points to 4. There's been a dearth of points in this second half. Millard thought he'd scored his second try of the match before video referee Thierry Alibert chalked it off. And that might have finished Hull FC off, but as it is, they're still very much in this game, courtesy of the try there from Kurt Yeaman. Crucial try. Here he is, the try scorer, Yeaman. Maybe there's life in this game now because they're starting to get a bit of a roll on Hull FC. Now penalty. Big penalty.
It's a bit of belief that they've got, Rod. Seem to be running hard, and it's amazing what a try can do because you believe that you can get back into the game and win, come up with a try like that, just 10 points behind, good field position, 6 tackles to try and pour some more points here.
Hull lead the penalty count 7-4 off the back of that latest penalty awarded by referee Phil Bentham. Heremiah had to work hard this afternoon with no Danny Houghton in the side. Gareth Ellis offloads back to Heremiah. Heremiah running across the 10-metre line, drops it off to Westerman. Westerman in the rather snazzy matching boots to the Hull FC kit. He finds Rankin, and Rankin again running across the field of play. Spots half a gap, spotting almost a gap that developed into a fully blown opportunity. Heremiah for Hull, who are now on top despite trailing on the scoreboard. Westerman, Shaw for the line! Jamie Shaw makes it back-to-back tries for Hull FC. Jamie Shaw scores. He got a hat-trick last week, he scored again, and now they're back within a converted try, and there's still 16 minutes left.
Well, we're in for a sensational end to this game. A succession of offloads making it too difficult for the Dragons defenders. Jamie Shaw gets on the end of it and dabs it down in the corner. But it's the work done by those offloads that's creating little fractures in the defensive line of the Dragons. And they're now having to do some searching for energy, searching for ideas. And Daryl Millard can't get hold of Jamie Shaw. And Jamie Shaw, an exciting rugby league player, born and bred in the Hull region.
They're caught on the edge. 4 numbers because of the run that Jordan Rankin come up with in the middle. He attracted 4, maybe 5 players. They all pulled tight to the ruck, which created the space on the right edge. And then all of a sudden you had Vincent Duport, who came in, made the wrong choice in defence, which presented itself out wide.
Rankin then to close the gap to an unconverted try. Some comeback this from Hull, who were on the ropes, clinging on, in danger of being counted out not long ago, and Rankin makes it a 4-point game at 20 points to 16. It was 20 points to 4 5 minutes ago, and in fact it could have been 26-4 had Millard's try stood. So what a turnaround here.
Well, excellent play. They do believe that they can go on and win this game. Jamie Shaw just skipping outside of the Catalan player. They were short out wide, and again, talk about Jordan Rankin's involvement in this game, especially in the second half. You want your threats, you want your danger men to run at the opposition, and that's exactly what Hull FC are doing. And it was a great set of 6 from the kickoff. Can they come up with it again?
Well, Tez, this was a difficult game to call before the whistle, but you felt like Catalan with the home form would have enough. It's even more difficult because all the momentum is with Hull FC, and it's the Dragons who seem to be scrambling.
Ellis poking his head through the gap, and it's the strains of Old Faithful echoing around the Stade Gilbert Brutus. Oh, that could be disastrous. Not given though. Richard Horse took his arms up in the air, and Phil Bentham decided not to blow.
Good. No, it was good play from Joe Westerman, that.
I'm glad it wasn't one of those penalties. There's a bad mistake from Mickey Peer. He's run his blood to water all afternoon, holds his hands up, and knows his side now of a minute of defence. On average, defensive efforts for a set of 6 last just less than a minute. So Hull FC will need to focus for that minute, and then when they get the ball as well.
Just going back to the obstruction, or no obstruction. He actually hasn't gained any advantage, and for an obstruction to take place, the team has to gain an advantage. So he was tackled immediately, so I think it's right that he should be allowed to play on.
Hang on, you got two here, though.
Well, there's some strong challenges in this game from both sides. Oh. Jeff Lima, he's ran strong.
13 minutes left.
Diving forward, go,
The south of France can Hull become the first team since Leeds at the back end of February to lower the Dragons' colours on their own ground. 7 other teams have tried and 7 have failed since then. Here's Lima. Lima, that's good. He's dropped that. He's dropped that.
Knock on.
Knock on, yeah. Sloppy handling from Jeff Lima.
Well, look at the
who
players.
made the mistake in the first place, is straight in there to make the redeeming play.
And all the Hull FC players were right around him. That shows a unity and a support for one another that's going to be important these last 12 minutes or so.
Well, I think that call has gone their way. Jordan Thompson definitely had his hand on that ball.
But 12. Time's off, time's off.
Clock is stopped with 12 minutes and 22 seconds left. Hull have the ball from the scrum win. Richard Horn feeding the scrum. He had that chance halfway through the first half, didn't he, to score for Hull, drop the ball over the try line, and these are the kind of things that Hull will be ruminating on if they do come up just short here. But they've got every chance now. They're back within 4 points. Ellis again. He's working so hard. He has made a couple of errors, but his work rate has been fantastic, Gareth Ellis. One of the oldest men on the field at the age of 33. Horn to Rankin to Shaw, who scored the latest of Hull's tries. Their third of the match, in point of fact. Tom Lynham. He must be close to exhausted on his first game back for 3 months in the heat out there. A little bit of shadow creeping across the field now. Setiamar to Sarr. Sarr flings the ball inside, picked up by Shaw. Shaw spills it.
You thought that was a good ball and an educated guess inside. But as the rugby league ball often does, it bounced.
Hand over.
Well, it was on tackle. Sorry, Barry. It was on the last play, wasn't it? So they had to get the ball back in field, hopefully trying to get a kick away.
Okay, boys.
No matter how many times you make a mistake, Jamie Shaw makes the mistake. Good players, they don't let that bother them. They just get back on with it. The next set of 6, as soon as they've got the ball, they try and do something a little bit different.
Well, we'll soon be approaching the time for Hull, and they'll need to do something a little different to try and get the crucial try, what could be the go-ahead try for the first time in this game for Hull FC. Remarkable. They've trailed by 16.7 minutes inside this second half. This has been a furious fight back from Lee Radford's team.
Hull FC look like they're in control at the minute.
But I don't think they can continue to defend down here. I've said it a few times. I think it's going to be the side with the territory that comes away and makes that final play. Can't see any team breaking from distance.
Price, high kick, and well claimed by Lynham, who's done well this afternoon. You have to stress, as we have done, that this is his first game back for 3 months. It's impressive to go 80 minutes in this heat. All right, he's not doing the work that the forwards are doing out on the wing, but this has been a good performance.
Well, he's a talent. Remember last year we talked about Crooks, we talked about Lynham possibly playing for England at the end of last season, but obviously because of injuries, and then injuries to the start of this season to both of those players. But they've got a very good strike on that right side.
Well, owner Adam Pearson was making the point in an interview with Bill on Boots and All a couple of weeks back that the whole ethos of the club now is to promote and develop young local talent. Well, Lynham's out there, Crooks is out there, Shaw is out there, Bowden's out there. A kick, it's hacked on! Now then, what will happen here? Oh, it's bobbling around. Oh, it's collected. It fell very kindly for Michael Oldfield. He's got away with that. There was all sorts of scenes on the Dragons' 20-metre line. They've got away with it.
Oh, there's some commitment in this game. Neither side is willing to throw the towel in. Chris Chewson was chasing for his life. And Michael Oldfield gets hold of the ball. And the pressure now goes on to the Dragons. Knock on.
Good hit. Good hit, Hull FC. This is exactly what you want.
Kick the ball away.
A good kick down the other end of the park. A big chase from Hull FC, and then all of a sudden Pomeroy tries to bring this ball away. It's Mickey Payer who gets under the ball and dislodges it. They've got a chance.
There's the effort from Chris Jewson. He's got some part to play in the position and possession now of his side. Even though he doesn't actually make that tackle, he does enough. And it's the support of his teammates. Yeeman makes that tackle. We'll have another look at it. Great work from FC. They're finding the extra energy.
That's what you call not giving up on a play.
Thanks, mate.
When that ball, you've got to make sure that you chase it, and your teammates will get on the back of that like they have done here in this set of 6.
Out.
From the scrum win, Hull have the ball, 30 metres out. Rankin shrugs off Taya, goes through the hole. Leon Price closes that hole with Vincent Deport. Plenty of chance for Hull FC. They've scored the last 2 tries in this game. Yeeman and Shaw, the men on the mark. Another one would draw them level with a kick to come. Feka Paliasina is muscled to the ground emphatically by 2 Dragons. Jeff Lima was one of them. Richard Horn, good pace about the Hull attack now, good tempo. Shaw having an excellent game now, coming into the line, but now they're marshalling him towards the sideline. He goes to ground. Ball
There's
has
an
come
injury
loose.
in back play.
He's knocked on.
There's an injury in back play for one of the FC players as that play was unfolding. Somebody was skittled onto the floor, and Jamie Shaw, in an effort probably to stay on the pitch, forgets about the pill. Just comes out of his grasp.
Yes, mate.
Been a good second half. Quality game.
A real one.
1 or 2 mistakes, and I dare say that the coaches aren't enjoying it.
Yep.
It's a good
Not ready,
contest.
time off. They've got all the players here, so just one missing for you now. Is it Ben? Okay, mate, ready.
7.5 minutes left as the clock is stopped.
Heads in. Out, time on.
Pretty much the old playground game here. Terry, next score wins.
First.
Do you know, I was just thinking, if Hull FC score, even if it's out wide, I would back Jordan Rankin to kick the 2 points.
2, Feka!
And if Hull FC go in front 22 points to 20, I can't see him losing the game.
So you think Hull FC, you think this is Hull FC's game?
If they score the try, yes.
In your opinion, is it Hull FC's game?
I think he's just saying, Barry, if Hull FC have more points than Catalan at the end, then they will have won.
He's a good lad, isn't he? Eh?
You've picked it up.
I think that's what he was saying. There. So the Catalan Dragons with a 4-point lead. Not that penalty. Going to start this next set just short of the halfway line. They know one more try will finish it now. No question about that. That would put them 8 clear with the kick to come, and that would just about get the job done. Wrestling themselves free and going straight up the middle. Sensible stuff. Just run out the set. Finish it on your own terms. Just get the kick away in the right spot on the field. That'll be their game plan here. Elliot Whitehead drives it forward. Richard Horn has pulled it free, and that's a penalty. That's a penalty. That really is a basic error. Now they're 4 in front. Thomas Bosk is not the most reliable of goal kickers, but he could turn 4 into 6 here. And now he's cupping his hand to his ear, saying to Laurent Fresney, what on earth do you want me to do here?
No, keep the ball, Bill.
Well, no, no.
I'm not so sure about this one. If he gets it, or if he doesn't get it, his team will receive the ball near their own line. Bearing in mind what I've said about position on the pitch.
Well, yes, I see the argument, but clearly if he does kick it, they will virtually ensure that they cannot lose the game.
I actually think go for 2 points here. You've got to back yourself to not make a mistake with 5 tackles when bringing it away.
Well, if he does kick it, of course, they will be 6 in front, and it's almost impossible to envisage a scenario where they could lose from there. They could draw, of course.
And if they get through that set of 6,
there's 5
kick
minutes
the ball
left.
deep, kick the ball deep, defend probably 3 sets of 6. You've got to back yourself as a professional player to make 18 tackles.
If he misses, of course.
Well, they get the ball back.
That's if he kicks it dead.
If he kicks it dead, yes. And you can see from the trees, there's no wind.
This is not a guarantee. This is at the stage of the match where the unmissable becomes missable. And this would not be unmissable in any circumstances, and he's missed it, has he? Yes.
20 dropout.
So 20-metre dropout.
Well, that's the best scenario from that situation. He's missed the goal. He's burned up 20, 30, 40 seconds on the clock. Then they get the ball back.
Yeah, I get that, but he could have kicked it to touch and wasted a minute, couldn't he, by...
Oh, they could have got some points.
Anyway, there it is. That's what he did. Who are we to tell Thomas Bosk what to do? Well, Laurent Fresinier. The bottom line is Catalan lead 20 points to 16. They have the ball in their hands and there's only 4 3/4 minutes left for play. Bosk missing again. Not for the first time this afternoon. He's now missed 3 shots at goal.
Goal 2.
Rankin has missed 1. Still the same scenario.
Play on.
They need to hold the ball and they can't do that.
0.
And Gareth Ellis has pounced on it. Now then, game on. 4 minutes left.
Do you know, I'm not so sure about that. When the tackle looks like it's complete, how does the ball project forward probably a further 5 metres? There must have been a hand in there.
Move! Go, yeah,
well, usually what the referee will look for, if it comes out on impact, they'll say it's been lost.
2.
After the tackle's been complete, in the way that you said, well, the tackle was well on, and the ball's come out forward. So, you know, you'd expect normally a referee to go with the ball carrier on that one.
Yeaman. Well, they've got their arms all around the ball this time, and it stays in the grasp of Hull FC's Kirk Yeaman, looking for the game-tying score here. Lee Radford's men.
4.
The closing stages right at the business end of this match. Round 17 of Super League, and this is a thriller in the south of France.
He's through the line, play on.
Jamie Shaw. Shaw takes the tackle, the final tackle in this sequence. It comes 20 metres out. Now Rankin, he goes to the air. He goes towards Millard, who hasn't been able to catch anything all afternoon, but he has caught that one. Just when it really mattered, when he needed to catch one most, Daryl Millard has come up with the ball.
Yeah, when he needed it, the pressure was on. The ball went high into the corner, and he was under pressure, but he come up trumps on that occasion.
Catalan Dragons have won 7 on the trot at home, and in all of those matches they've scored at least 30 points. This has been a different sort of game. They haven't been able to get rid of Hull FC with the ease that they've got rid of some of their opponents in that sequence of results. Escaré didn't like that at all. Did not like that at all, but he was, well, he was giving away about 6 stone in weight in what would have been a catch-weight contest that he would have been knocked out in, I think. And now Leon Price gives it a full whack.
10 boys.
Straight down the middle. And it's picked up by Talanoa, who created the last try. Big, strong run from Talanoa.
Well, they've probably only got 2 sets of 6 now, Hull FC. You can see the outside backs from both sides. Getting in, trying to take advantage of some quick play of the balls.
Goal 2.
Jeremiah. Rankin.
3.
Can they get it out onto this left-hand side where they've threatened often with Ellis's powerful runs, Yeaman and Talanoa. This is where their main threat has been down this left-hand side, particularly in this second half, and that's the way they're coming. But Horn goes back inside. He didn't continue to let the ball go, and another tackle disappears, and there are only 2 left in this sequence. And now Aaron Jeremiah, who will be on his way to the Widnes Vikings next season, has his hands on the ball. Rankin with a hop, step and a jump, rather reminiscent of Rangi Chase. Came to nothing though. Last tackle in this sequence. Is it the last chance for Hull FC also? What can they conjure up? The ball is going to go into the air. The Dragons' hearts are beating a little faster. It could be a try. It won't be a try. It could have been. It was there in the grass, the fingertips of Talanoa, but in the end it came down for Michael Oldfield.
How cool was Oldfield then?
2.
There was 3 Hull FC players. The ball was bobbling, and all of a sudden he just focused on catching that ball.
Well, if we get a chance to watch it again, he's about 5 metres away from where the ball lands. He purposely spreads off so that when he's coming forward to catch the ball, he's in a positive position. But Hull FC in a real strong position now with the last dying embers of the game, the last minute of the game.
If they concede a penalty here, the game will be over. That is their first priority, not to concede a penalty, because that would finish it. As it is, this is going to go into touch, you would think. It's bobbling and tiptoeing around the touchline, and Catalan will be relieved to see it cross the whitewash, because now time will elapse while Hull pack a scrum and try to stop the clock. And the clock continues to tick, and the clock continues to tick, and now there are only 34 seconds left when the clock is stopped.
Well, that's what you call game management from Thomas Bosk. Hull FC forming the scrum. We've got 34 seconds left, that's all.
Well, will they go here from the base of the scrum, from the scrum win, for a kick
boys,
straight away?
No.
Let's get on with the game now.
Look, it was a tactic that was on vogue a few years ago, the kick from the scrum.
No, a couple of players stick the ball in the air.
We've got a man down.
Look, when the ball goes in the air, it's a contest, it's anybody's ball. Talanoa, he was just inches. He was inches of scoring the match-winning try, surely.
Came off the head of Yeaman.
Well, whether they win this game or not, FC, they've put in an incredible performance.
Well, let's see what they've got here, because it's going to have to be something magical. Henderson has succumbed to an arm injury, and that's bad news.
No, the old Fox, he was doing that in the first half.
Heads in, boys.
Well, you say that. Interested to see if he plays next week. Pelissier back from a ban. Anyway, here we go. From the scrum then. Westerman. Rankin.
He passed it. That's fine.
Well, they're running out of time here because they've gone round in circles, but they are keeping the ball alive. Palliacina, will he get the offload away? He has. It's picked up by Ellis, or kicked forward by Ellis, and it's dived on by Thomas Bosk, and that will be the game for the Catalan Dragons. Hull hurled it around, spun the wheel, and it's come up with zero, literally, the zero tackle. Battieri.
Well, that's game over when the ball went right and then it came back to the left. You didn't want the ball going into a prop forward's hands.
The countdown is on, and the Catalan Dragons fans are going to see another home win from their heroes. It is the 8th on the trot, but this was a tight, tense tussle. The Dragons have got home, but only just. Catalan 20, Hull FC 16.
Fascinating second half, and Hull FC really making a battle of that when it looked at half-time as though they were going to be struggling, but they've come back and really forced it all the way, and making Catalan Dragons work for that victory. A big second half performance from Hull, John.
Yeah, no signs early on though. Catalan started the second half as they finished the first on the front foot, quick play the balls, and Leon Price at the hub of things. This is a great run from Muniz that set it up. Then look at Leon Price across the back of the ruck. He's getting back, showing signs, consistent signs now of a return to his brilliant best. And then Millard on the outside. From 53 minutes, Hull FC got close following a decent spell in Catalan territory. Horn, for all money, looked like he was going to score here, but for the right arm of Morgan Escaré try at saver. But that really proved to be a catalyst for Hull, and just after the hour mark, Hull FC went in again. Yeaman with the try. The play initially breaks down here as Pomeroy leaves the line there to knock the ball back, but as the ball is shipped on to Talanoa, he gets in, beautiful step to do Escaré, and then a nice offload to put Yeaman in at the corner. That made it 20 points to 10. And that try was followed up 3 minutes later when Jamie Shaw got on the outside of Daryl Millard, and all of a sudden French hearts were in mouths, particularly with a couple of minutes to go as a kick came across from Hull FC. And Talanoa looked like he was going to be the beneficiary, but Oldfield got in there. Dragons win at home again after holding on, Bill.
They do, and Catalan really turning the Stade Gilbert Brutus into a fortress now, and leads the only side to win on that ground. These are the other results from round 17 then. Hull Kingston Rovers, we saw on Friday, winning comfortably at Odsal. Bradford 18, Hull KR 44. Huddersfield have beaten London 38-22. The Broncos making them work for their win. And as we've just seen, Catalan 20, Hull FC 16. Let's have a look at the updated table. Wigan top, Saints second, Leeds third, Castleford fourth, Huddersfield up to fifth ahead of Warrington. Catalan stay seventh but strengthen their claim to the top 8 place. Widnes occupy that 8th spot. Hull Kingston Rovers breathing down there next. Then it's Hull FC still in with a chance of making the top 8. So Hull defeated, but not out of the playoff race yet. And on that sort of performance, with that sort of effort, they can still make that top 8.
Very credible second half performance. I think we also, and I was guilty of it at 16-4. Thought that was going to go one way in the second half.
It looked even worse, didn't it?
And I thought they came back extremely well. What I would say is that over the last 5 or 6 years, 26 competition points has been about the mark that's got you into that 8th place. And unfortunately, another week goes by now where Hull FC are missing out on those points. They now need to pick up 6 out of the next 10 results, the remaining 10 fixtures, to get into that top 8.
Thanks, John. It's been some comeback from the Catalan Dragons, though. 12th they were, and now they're up to 7th in the table. World Cup report is next on Sky Sports 1, Sky Sports News. And next weekend, 2 big games to look forward to. Hull Kingston Rovers against Huddersfield, and that is 7:30 on Sky Sports 1. That's on Thursday night. The Giants on the march as well. They've won again this weekend with that victory over the London Broncos. And then on Friday, it's one of the games of the season. Big night at the DW Stadium. And it's 7:30 on Sky Sports 1 on Friday for the Wigan Warriors against St Helens. A top of the table clash between those two. But But it's been a great game at the Stade Gilbert Brutus in Perpignan. Catalan Dragons just doing enough. Hull will wonder what might have been for them if one or two decisions had gone their way. Thanks very much for joining us. Thanks to John for being in the studio and to our commentary team. Goodbye.
Watch all 6 Sky Sports channels on your mobile and online.
The Gladiators are entering the arena.
Isuzu D-Max sponsors Sky Sports coverage of the Super League.
Live tomorrow, England take on Sri Lanka in day 3 of the second test on Sky Sports 2 at 10:30 a.m. The final round of the Irish Open Golf on Sky Sports 4 at 11:30 a.m. and the Austrian Grand Prix on Sky Sports F1 at 11:30 a.m.
This is Sky Sports, your home of sport.
Sky Sports 5, your new home of European football, launches August 12th and is included in your Sky Sports subscription. The UEFA Champions League.
Sensational!
Exclusively live coverage of La Liga, the Eredivisie, and European qualifiers.
This could be the moment!
Sky Sports 5, your new home of European football, launches August 12th.
After 2 days in the desert sun, my skin began to turn red. After 3 days in the desert fun, I realized you better live for away.
Fall in love with driving again with the new Iris Hybrid. Book your test drive today.
The clones, nobody thinks they can be beat. We must rise up.
I like what you have done with the place.
They play like it's a job. You play like it's a game.
I'll take that. Reckless.
You risk everything to win. Everything.
It's too easy. That's better.
I'm James Reed, and you hate Mondays because you hate your job. Follow me.
You should be a fireman. Accountant, radiologist, snake charmer, YouTube to beard.
Gary.
Electro-funk DJ. And Alan, you should be a frogman.
I love frogs. I know.
It took 8 years of clinical research and 14,000 people to prove that a world without cavities may be possible. People continued with their daily lives. They just brushed every day with our new toothpaste, Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection plus Sugar Acid Neutralizer, that delivered close to double the protection against early decay. The hope of a cavity-free future is here. New Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection plus Sugar Acid Neutralizer.
Sure sponsors this program. Do more with Sure.
Wayne Rooney says sorry to the England fans and claims the players are today hurting and really disappointed. He also insists the dressing room is fully behind the manager Roy Hodgson and says he is the right man to take England forward. And Argentina celebrates tonight as Lionel Messi scores a brilliant stoppage time winner to deny Iran a famous point to qualify for the last 16. Good evening, everyone. Welcome along to the World Cup report. The inquest continues for England today. And we've heard from inside the dressing room now for the first time since they were knocked out last night. In a moment, we will be live to Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, where our chief football reporter Nick Collins has been speaking to Wayne Rooney this afternoon. And to Belo Horizonte, where England will be heading next for their third and now final game of a hugely disappointing tournament. So let's start now in Rio. And Nick, hi to you, my friend. What is the mood like in this camp now following England's exit after just 2 games played?
Well, Jim, you could sense the raw emotion during the news conference. Yes, they're hurting, and they're still hurting, and they'll be hurting for a while yet. But Wayne Rooney tried to put a brave face on it and talked in terms of trying to use the pain they're feeling now to make sure that it